Good now, everybody, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show. We are live on TikTok. We are live on Twitter. We are live on everything for the first time. It's the Rise Up Morning Show, live and in color, now streaming to YouTube, Twitter, and wherever you get your news. And that's what we are. We're helpful Web3 news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions. I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Mr. Alex Popovich, although we're not connected on TikTok yet, are we? So you're going to have to send me a little request. And then once we go live there, everyone will be excited to see that we're on YouTube too. So if you're joining us on YouTube and Twitter for the first time, thank you for hanging out with us. Alex, what would you say about our show? Helpful Web3 news, education, commentary, and no shilling, shaming, or scaring. That's exactly right. We're live at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Started on TikTok, started on Twitter back in the day, and then we moved to TikTok where all of our folks live, and now it's true. You can go check the stream, everybody. We are live on YouTube at Faceless_Labs, and I believe we're streaming from Alex's Twitter. Alex.
We sure are.
Or is it Alex Pope?
Confirmed.
I can't get all your handles straight, man.
You know what's annoying is just that I landed on a handle that has one too many letters for Twitter. So
me too.
It is Alex Faceless LBS. Just take the A out of labs. We're Faceless Pounds.
Faceless Pounds, baby. People think you're like an anonymous weight loss channel. Oh my gosh, man. So welcome to Brian, who's on YouTube. Welcome to Crypto Machinery, all our friends who are joining on TikTok. The coffee has not kicked in yet. They said, hey, that's okay. The tea is working its magic over here too. If you've got a crypto question, if you've got something you're curious about, skeptical about, you'd like to know more about, then please do us a favor, leave it in a comment. And if you're joining us on TikTok, you're one of our friends and you want to call in on the show, so to speak, then go ahead and tap the request button. We can get you up on the screen. I don't know how we're going to work that out with the stream, but we can figure it out.
You know what?
It'll be a great problem to solve.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. So, Alex, what did you title the stream over there? SEC in Congress and KOL madness.
Yes.
What kind of a show is that, man?
It was just two things that I definitely wanted to talk about today. So obviously we had the SEC commissioners, I mean, all of them, in front of Congress yesterday, which hasn't happened since 2019, I believe. And so not only did we get a chance to listen to people grill old Gare Bear, the rest of the commissioners were there too. And I gotta say, if you have not watched Gary get a question, refuse to answer, and have the congressperson immediately just go, all right, Hester, and then have her just excoriate him in 10 seconds and contradict what he said and answer the question, it is truly a sight to see.
Yeah, this was Congressperson Patrick McHenry. Is that who it was that you were talking about? Who did that switch between Gary and Hester?
There were several, yes, but Patrick McHenry is the chair of the House Financial Services Committee, and he led the hearing, but he wasn't the only one. And I thought the one thing I wanted to give props where props are due to McHenry. In his opening statement, he highlighted that there is bipartisan support for legislation that will help incentivize or even just allow for innovation in this industry to happen inside the United States. Because as multiple people pointed out, we are going to get left behind by other nations that are allowing for this innovation to kind of happen. And so he highlighted that it was a bipartisan bill that had been supported and struck down, talking about SAB 121. And then there were a bunch of other Congress people from the other side. One that really stuck out to me was Richie Torres, younger Democrat from, I'm gonna have to check and see what state. cannot remember off the top
They
of my head
need
now.
name tags is what they need, like on every picture, because they got it on C-SPAN, but that's about it. I need more names and faces, and then where the hell are you from, man?
Yeah. No, but I thought Richie Torres did a great job. He did the thing that we've seen happen to Gensler before. It just puts it on full display. Gary admitted that he knew exactly where this question was going, and he still bungled it. So the question posed by Representative Torres was, Chair Gensler, if I sell you a Yankees ticket, and I tell you that it could go up in value, and I tell you that it's going to give you access to this game, and I tell you that the proceeds from these ticket sales are going to go to supporting the athletes and the game and the staff and the arena, did you just buy a security? And Gary was like, hey, listen, I know where this is going.
Oh, hold on, Alex. I'm not sure what's going on over here.
We'll give Evan a second here to.
But I think I lost you on our stream.
So for anyone who's joining us,
I lost your beautiful
something
voice.
Other than TikTok, we have never done this before, where we're streaming all three places at once. So just bear with us while we sort of use today a little bit as an experiment.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're on YouTube or Twitter, you just noticed that Evan just exited.
Yeah, it just says something went wrong.
So I don't know. What are you doing? What happened?
Oh, it just says something went wrong, and now I'm entering the studio again. Also, I'm going to be playing around while we're doing this to see if I can connect my crispy mic to both places.
No
Everyone
worries.
on TikTok can see and hear us both, so thank you guys. You guys are getting the good stuff. Everyone on Twitter and YouTube is getting our sloppy stuff. I might have to exit our Discord because my computer's working hard over you.
I can hear it from here, dude.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Did you see this great comment over here on TikTok that Wes has about they backed that bus up over Gary, man.
Oh.
It was truly artful.
It just went right over him, and then it went forward, and then it backed up again, and then forward again. So while Evan is reloading in here, the question about the Yankees ticket is posed to Gary, and he says, "I know where this line of questioning is going, but essentially, no, I don't think so." And immediately, sorry, I don't have an echo on TikTok. I just turned the volume off, so I can't hear it.
You're good on TikTok. Yeah.
Someone will let me know. Immediately then, he asked, okay, so what about, I think the example he gave was a settled case. Okay, big echo.
How about now?
We're
Test check 1 2. Wes, you are the man.
Test. I can tell it's done. You know what? Let's give it another minute. And honestly, if we run another test stream in a little bit, we can do that.
Here. Your echo is going to be better now. Oh, Eamon said it was all good now.
We better?
No.
Okay, sweet. Anyway. I swear it's not usually this chaotic. It's just
We got all good and we got an echo. You guys are just
yeah. Two more platforms.
Hang on.
Okay,
I'm with you.
why don't we, just in the interest of being able to run this and not absolutely butcher the recording after, why don't we just focus on the one and we'll just do a test again in a little bit and see if we can mess with it.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Are we staying here?
Yeah. Nothing here changes. Just give me 1 second.
I love you all.
A valiant effort. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Don't fret about it. I mean, we're staying here. We're staying here with you. You get us later. Where is here? Ethicalish. We have started streaming today to YouTube and Twitter so that we can be live on multiple platforms simultaneously. We ran a test yesterday. It went pretty well. And you know how it goes. You test things, you break things, you test things, you break things. And the goal is eventually to be also streaming to Unlonely, the Farcaster app, and Facebook, because a lot of folks in our audience are kind of Facebook native in terms of, they get a lot of their news, their timeline stuff there online. They're really not Discord people, etc. Yeah, we're gonna finish the Gensler rant. We're just getting set. Also, I like this better because the other problem I have is, man, I have to turn my second monitor off, so I have almost like no computer ability in terms of like looking something up. Okay,
no worries.
I'm gonna tell them, how did the stream go? Bad.
Bad. Anyway, I think we're back. We're good to go.
Okay, so I'm going to pull back the crispy mic over here, and then I'm going to ask you to remind us where you left off. Where you left off was, and I'd like you to start over with that slightly dramatic reenactment of the New York Yankees baseball ticket exchange, because this is just honestly so perfect. For anybody who's just joining us, we're talking about the SEC hearing yesterday at Congress in the United States, where Gary Gensler, to put it mildly, was destroyed. So Alex, you were saying?
Yeah. So this was a line of questioning that has been posed to him before, essentially, walking him into an area wherein he has made a claim about a specifically digital item being sold, being a security, and then framing the exact same scenario, but without the digital part. And he will look you right in the eyes and tell you that he doesn't think that's a security. So something about the fact that the item is digital is hanging him up. And you could tell that Hester was really over it. Like, obviously we know this because she writes a dissent every time the SEC does something. So this particular line of questioning from Representative Torres was asking about being sold a Yankees ticket and being told by the person selling it to you that it could appreciate in value if you wait, it's closer to the game and they're harder to come by, whatever. The proceeds of the ticket sale are going to go to benefit the team, the arena, the staff, make the game possible. And having this is going to give you access to the game. You cannot get into the game without this ticket. Is that a security? And Gary goes, I know where this is going. No, I don't think so. And then he's like, okay, so let's talk about, he mentioned Stoner Cats, which is a fully litigated and settled SEC versus whoever case. And first, Gary drops the, I can't comment on it. And Representative Torres goes, actually, it's settled. You absolutely can comment on it. Ugh. And essentially says, yeah, no, yes, basically that is, that one is. Because for anyone unfamiliar, Stoner Cat's NFT collection, owning the NFT gives you the right to stream or to watch an animated series. So you're buying a thing, which gives you access to the show. It could appreciate in value, even though they didn't advertise it necessarily that way. But even in this example, let's say that they did. And what's the difference? And the only difference is that the item is digital versus a paper ticket. And Gary maintained that that is questionable. Yeah. And it just makes no sense. And this is where then, it came up. Hester commented on the fact that the SEC admitted recently within the confines of their SEC versus Binance lawsuit that the term, was it digital asset security?
Digital asset security, I believe, was the one that we're talking about.
Was specifically, incorrect. And the token itself is never the security and not the focus of that. It's rather part of an overall investment contract. And that's the thing that the SEC is going after, which is contradictory to the way that they've been talking about this and litigating and enforcing things for years. So again, that was pointed out by Patrick McHenry to start off the hearing, was like, hey, let me just read you a list of all the things you've called these things before and point out the fact that there is no consistency and we have no idea what you're ever talking about.
Now, Alex, if you'd like me to, I've got that clip pulled up and I can let folks hear some of the waffling and that beautiful moment where Rep. McHenry asks, Hester to comment instead. I'm going to give it to you here. The first voice you'll hear is Representative Patrick McHenry.
Chair Gensler, in March, the Agriculture and Financial Services Committee sent you a letter about the regulatory treatment for Ether, the native token of the Ethereum blockchain. In the letter, we expressed concern the SEC is using different terms to describe digital assets. This includes crypto tokens, crypto security tokens, crypto asset securities, digital asset securities, and digital asset securities that are investment contracts.
Oh, that's 6.
Does the SEC differentiate between crypto tokens and tokenized securities?
And he's looking at Gary like this. He's got his hands. He's like,
yeah.
And you can just see Gary kind of like,
and for
moistening himself for this.
Yeah, he Gary's mucking over there, trying to come up with some bullshit. And to be clear too, and these are also great clips, and they've started to resurface just in the wake of this hearing and also in the lead up to it. Patrick McHenry had a great cross-examination of Gary last time he was there too, and nothing has changed except this time Hester was sitting right next to him. So,
oh my God.
10 times better, but worth a check. I shared a couple links to some good tweets in Discord yesterday, but yeah.
Yeah, and that's where this is coming from. So you can get the full visual if you want to accompany it. You want me to keep going so you can hear what Gary says?
Yes, I think it's
Here
important.
we go.
Whether any one offer or sale of an asset is a security depends on the facts and circumstances. In terms of the language or nomenclature, it's less about the terms, it's more about the economics. And it really goes down to a Supreme Court test, which is the law of the land, called the Howey test. And whether an investment contract is being offered and sold to the public, and that public is looking to others in a common enterprise, anticipating a profit. So the labels matter less than what the...
Yeah, exactly. Basically, so he goes on, he gives a really good explanation of the Howey test, but the congressperson basically says, so you're telling me, though, that the language matters. I'm skipping ahead a bit here, he says. Because I want you to hear how he pivots to Hester, because this is a long clip and we don't have to play the whole thing.
No, you can skip all of Gary's BS and just go to when Patrick wraps it up and kicks it over.
Well, I could, Alex, but I'm driving the equivalent of a 1972 Volkswagen that's gone a long way. And now it's just spinning and sputtering for me. Oh my God, man.
Today's show is brought to you by Evan's Ancient Computer and comes with the polite request that to anyone interested in sponsoring the show, you could buy us some upgraded hardware.
That's exactly right. We could sell you a crypto, some sort of what we'll do, Alex, is we'll sell some NFTs to fundraise. You buy $1, you get a coupon, but there won't be true non-fungible tokens. They'll be physical. There'll be little tickets.
Yeah,
and
we'll
they'll say
print them out at Kinko's.
They'll say not a security on them.
Yes, Gary will be okay with this.
I don't know what the heck's happening with this, man. It's just giving me the spinning wheel of death. If you want to see it, here's the real alpha. I think Twitter is setting me up for this. The real alpha is Alex has posted this entire clip and its beautiful sincerity.
Yes. In
our Discord, you can find it there as well as a slew of resources to help you learn crypto. It's Rise Up, discord.gg/rise up, or find it at the link in our bio. We've got a button there too. Amstar says, "How old is my PC?" Almost as old as whatever primordial soup Gary climbed out of. This is probably like this might be
Gary's the creature from the Black Lagoon, so
he kind of bears resemblance. I don't know. This might be a 20. I think it's like a 2017, 2027, 2019. It's a 2019.
It's trying to do too many things.
It's just trying to do too many things. It's old.
So the part that we're unable to hear is essentially Representative McHenry saying, "Okay, so you're not going to answer the question.
You had your chance, yeah.
Commissioner Peirce, can we pivot to you?" And she, in less than 30 seconds, just says, "We should have admitted that these were bad terms a long time ago. We have been doing a bad job. We've been wrestling with the inability to make a potentially complicated or difficult decision. We opted not to, and we've caused damage as a result. Boom, done. And he's like, okay. And it's so funny to watch a congressperson get their question answered quickly and efficiently because they're never prepared for it.
No.
Like in all of their prep to cross-examine and to ask questions, they're never ready for someone to answer the question in 20 seconds or less.
No, and she really did nail it. And I wish I had been able to see a wide shot. You know, they kind of show you each person who's speaking. I wish I had seen a wide shot so I really could have seen Gary reacting to Hester. I'm really curious what their dynamic is like at work. You know what I mean? When no one is watching. Do they fight? I don't know.
The C-SPAN camera people need to get some tips from like reality TV, because whenever someone's just getting thrown under the bus, they always like close up, you know, crop in on that person who is actively, you know, getting run over's face. And I would have paid for premium C-SPAN to get a live feed constantly of Gary's face throughout the entire thing, because you could tell the impression that I got immediately was that Commissioner Peirce was waiting, like she was so fucking ready to just put this shit out there because she's so over it. Like, if you read her dissents over the years, they just get more and more like belabored. You know, she's like, we're still here, still doing the same shit.
Yeah,
that we
running
were
up
before.
that hill.
And one thing that I did also enjoy was just the opportunity to hear from other commissioners, because you just frankly never do. You know, we've got Gary and we've got Crypto Mom. And between those two, and you know, honestly, I was thinking about that phrase, Crypto Mom. I just think it's like, it's funny. You know, I don't have any issue with it, but I just, like, for what it's worth, Hester is not like a full bore, full send everything, like ape into the memes. She is like, no, like there's really cool shit here, but there's also a lot of really bad shit here. And I just love the way that she talks about it. And this is my final thought on the matter. We are, you know, collectively, generally of the opinion, Khalil, it is all, he's asking where can you see the Congress and SEC with Gary? It's all over Twitter right now. I guarantee you can find the entire thing on YouTube. A transcript of the entire hearing is available on the House Financial Services Committee website, along with the entire C-SPAN live stream of the whole hearing. Like you can watch every minute of it if you want to.
Yeah, and I would recommend you go to Twitter or even Khalil in the Discord. Again, Alex posted a really good summary by Eleanor Terrett. Didn't know her at all, but she gave a real good live tweeted sort of play-by-play. If you just search SEC Gary Gensler on Twitter and Comedy Central, like Wes says, you'll find it.
Yeah, no, Eleanor is great, by the way.
Okay.
If you are looking for, like, you know, live as it happens, just good overview with what I love, a little bit of pithy commentary coming in from the sides, she's great. I'm
going to put her handle in the chat.
You
were going to give us a final thought on it, the spectacle of it all.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I liked Patrick McHenry's opening, and for the record, Patrick McHenry is a Republican. One of the reasons that I liked his opening statement so much is because, like I said, he highlighted the need for this to be bipartisan and the fact that it already is. I love it when my mustache gets a mustache. Can I just say? It's never not funny. Although it would be even funnier if that filter recognized and just like crop the mustache out when I get that one.
It was like, oh no, you've already got one. You're set, bro.
My hat gets a hat and my mustache gets a mustache. Just because this is a bipartisan thing. This does not affect one side or the other. And yes, historically, there have been more Republicans that are more vocal about it. But if you dig into even right now and going back a significant chunk of time, some of the original, like, crypto-friendly legislation is co-authored by Republicans and Democrats together, working on the bills together. And for some reason, we don't talk about that. We always just like demonize the entire Democratic Party as being unilaterally against cryptocurrency. And that is not fucking true. Just read. Reading is free. Google is free. It's not true. And I love seeing hearings like this because you can just listen to the way these people ask the questions. You could tell Brad Sherman, moron, has no clue what's going on, just hates all of this kind of stuff. You know what? I don't even think it's fair to call him stupid. I think he literally just hates it and he's not willing to change his mind. But you know, he's out there saying dumb shit like crypto's magic power is hiding money, like on a decentralized, open source, distributed ledger that anybody.
I can't believe he's still on that path.
Point.
That's how you know it's political and it's not interested in educating or informing his opinion.
Exactly. You can tell exactly what Evan just said, that his anger about it probably because he got, you know, stopped out of his position on a meme coin that he got hosed on, because he gives me the vibes that like that's what he does. Like he has no clue what any of this stuff is, but he gambles on meme coins and he just gets rugged all the time, and that's how he talks about it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, of all the things you could say, of all the things you could focus on, there are absolutely, like, if you wanted to go on a rant where you just made the industry look bad, dude, I could do it right now. Let's start holding up, I just posted, let's start holding up a bunch of dumbass KOLs from Twitter and the weird cringy shit that they say. Let's go look at how many people get scammed all the time. Let's go look at wallet drains. Let's go, like, all this stuff. There's so many things that you could talk about. And you choose to say still the tired old talking point that it's just used by criminals to do crime. Like,
well, and you know, if we're wrapping up this thread, I will say that there are a lot of people in Congress who've made really helpful progress, such that those opinions become starker and more apparent. I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday, Rep. Maxine Waters actually made some proposals. She called it a grand bargain on stablecoins. It was right in the opening. She asked McHenry for a bipartisan approach to passing a stablecoin bill. She said, I want to do this before the end of the year. It's long overdue. And I think we can make a deal that protects our nation's consumers, has strong federal oversight, protects the, you know, I mean, it was great. The act is, the Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act of 2023. And this is an act that McHenry, the guy who was grilling Gary a second ago, introduced. And get this, at the time, Maxine Waters led a walkout in Congress to protest this. So this is a real good indicator of, while Brad's on this side, little old Brad is a dumbass. You've got Rep. Waters, who has kind of done a 180 in terms of what this could be for our country, which is, I think, you know, really awesome.
That's really what it is. At the end of the day, it's not that the Democratic Party is opposed to it. It's that several very prominent and very powerful people who are leading the party are opposed to it. And despite what their entire constituency wants, and despite what the rest of their party is clearly talking about wanting, they are not budging. And those are, that's Biden, and that is Sherman and Nancy. And honestly, I don't even think you can call, I mean, Biden had the veto that was really weird because he had specifically said he wouldn't do that. But he's not like actively out there campaigning against it. He's just letting Gary run rampant, which is a problem. So, I mean, like I said, but you know, Chuck Schumer, he's the Senate Majority Leader. He's wildly in favor. He's been speaking at pro-crypto fucking Twitter spaces, talking about the need for better legislation and how he wants to see something on the floor of the Senate before the end of the year and blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't, I'm sorry. If you look at this and you're trying to tell me that the entire Democratic Party is demonizing and vilifying this entire industry, you are not paying attention and your bias is showing. You're not interested in unity. You're interested in getting your bags pumped, and you just want the candidate that makes you feel better, which is fine. That's your right. That's your prerogative. But you don't get to like spew bullshit about stuff that isn't true, because it's so easy to fact check. It's so easy to look up.
Well said. So you want to tell me what the other headline in your title was there? We were talking about this a little while ago in our creator chat. If it's the same article I'm thinking about, and what a feather in the cap of people who are trying to tell a better story.
Yes, let's actually, it's an easy segue, because this is one of those things that people in Congress who are angry about this could talk about if they wanted to. So the reason that this KOL thing came a little bit more recently into the spotlight, and why there is a push more to get over this. Token 2049 saw the handout of an award, KOL of the Year, and it went to this guy, Professor Crypto. Never heard of him, no clue who he is, and funny enough, his Twitter account has been deleted. He is no longer on the platform. This guy was just your classic Twitter engagement farming, bot posting dipshit. Go poke around. I'm sure you can still find some stuff. People quote tweeting him, old screenshots, things like that. I mean, he's a human, but all of his posts were just botted into oblivion. And the guy, he wins this award, and it really just rockets into the spotlight a bunch of people, specifically on X as a platform, who are doing a really good job telling the story about this kind of stuff, whether they are the social media manager for one Web3 company or brand, whether they are, just part of, I don't know, people who bull post stuff in it. Like, for example, all the Wolves DAO people talking about Web3.
Sure. Or Mertz, who's shit posting, but also talking about this is what we shipped today.
Yeah. There are so many people that are, if you want to use this phrase that I hate, key opinion leader, there are people who are legitimately sharing key opinions that influence thought. I don't know why we can't just continue to use the word influencer. I think it's a great word. I think it's super accurate, and I don't know why we're reverted to it, but it's a real problem that just, we need to get away from this. Evan and I talk about it all the time. If you're a Web3 brand and you're trying to advertise, you're trying to market, and you think that the best way to do that is to take your marketing budget and drop it on, 30 different influencers and get them to make a video about you, you're paying for people who don't care about you to make a video that they don't feel attached to, telling a story that they don't understand to people who don't care. Can you imagine a worse way to spend your marketing budget? Like, you guys don't,
no, exactly.
Drive this entire conversation. Tell me, if you're scrolling on TikTok and you see a thing that's like, guys, this brand new altcoin just came onto my radar, you already know you're about to get an ad. You already know they're probably not going to disclose that it's an ad, which is going to piss you off. You already know that you're going to get a biased opinion. You already know that the project is probably not that good. So what are you going to stick around for and watch? Even if it's one of my friends that I like you, I know you, I would like to support your content. I can't support this. And I scroll. So you're paying for someone to make a video about you that they don't care about, they're not attached to, that they don't care. And you're paying for all of their followers to quickly scroll past it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet this is the most common marketing strategy in Web3.
I really was struck by the way they worded it, and I'm trying to scroll to it here, but the thesis was that KOLs of this variety have a negative impact because they are leveraging the trust of their audience to sell a product. Like, aside from all the legal problems that you're supposed to disclose paid partnerships and that sort of thing, if your goal is to get paid well for talking positively about a thing, while what your audience wants is the truth about that thing, whether it's positive or not, then you are acting against your audience's interests, whether or not your audience realizes it. And eventually, here's the thing, they realize it. Like, look at the fallout around BitBoy. Look at the fallout around anybody who's on TikTok, Twitter, whatever. When these kind of things come to light, or when they get in trouble, or when you, the audience, get in trouble because they're not there to catch you when you crash and burn, those people always get their comeuppance. And I don't know. Alex and I spend a lot of time lately, Will too, trying to position ourselves to sponsors and things like that as not just somebody who's going to talk about their project in a positive light, but to talk about it honestly. When we advertise the show, we say it's the most trusted educational crypto platform on TikTok. Because like that's the thing we sell. That's the Rise Up brand, is like, if people don't trust us, we have no value. And I don't understand why more, key opinion leaders don't get that. Like, it's a transactional trade-off. Either you can give me $10,000 for my 100,000 follower tweet and I'll just bot it up real quick, or we could have a longer transformational relationship, lift the space up, and probably make more money, because we're all doing better together. I don't know. That was the big thing that stuck out at me, though, is how just true that is.
Yeah.
You're either getting paid to hype a project up or you're telling the truth to your audience. Which one is more important to you? And it's up to all of us to, we got to. I don't know why they even have an award like that.
Well,
except
it was
for
literally
vanity
like,
metrics,
It was a bullshit award made up by KOLs, and then they gave it to that guy. It was not like sanctioned by Token 2049. It was like not an official, sponsored.
Well,
by
did you see who wrote the op-ed that we got this from? It was I think it was Last Protocol is the author's project, and he kind of ended with like if you're somebody who believes like we do, and I was like, oh, we got to get in touch with him. Have you reached out to him yet?
No.
Yeah, I've got it on my list to reach out to him and to the Last Protocol team, because I would love to build more relationships with people who look like that, Dad. A nice comment, Will. Will said, Alex has his disappointed dad face on. Dad is disappointed. I'm not mad, son. I'm just disappointed. If you've got a crypto question, if you've got an opinion on KOLs, if you've got something you'd like to understand, then this is the place for you. We're here Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'd love your questions in the chat, or if you're one of our friends in the community and we know you, then feel free to pop that button down below that says to join as a guest, and we'd be glad to take your question live on the air. If you can't fit it in a TikTok comment, the best place for that is the Discord channel, discord.gg/rise up. The only thing missing is you. And we've got lots of good free resources in our ecosystem, as well as resources you can pay for at a variety of price points, starting with things like, the mug. I don't know that that's going to educate your crypto journey, but it is going to make your coffee taste better in the morning. We have live classes, including one this Sunday, Web3 101. We're going to start a class soon for content creators, aspiring influencers and KOLs, or established influencers and KOLs, to learn this sort of better way, to get in a room together and talk about ethics and legal implications of selling a product or being sponsored, and then hopefully connect them with opportunities to tell a better story, to build a trusted coalition of people in the space. If those are things that interest you, you can find it all, as well as links to premium membership, coaching, Will's research guide, digital downloads, so much stuff, and most of it's free at theriseuppmorningshow.com. Alex, we had a question in the comments that I wonder if we can shed some light on. Crypto is AZ Uber guy, I'm going to butcher his handle, said, what do you guys know about leverage trading? And I said, I know about leverage trading. I don't do it, but I know about it. And I asked, what platform do you trade on? And I didn't see if he had an answer for me. So crypto guy, let us know what platform you want to leverage trade on. You have a few options. I'm happy to talk about it. But Alex, can you give a quick overview for people who may not understand what leverage trading is, the benefits and risks associated with it?
Yeah, it's again not something I do because I'm not a good trader, and I know my strengths. Doug's leverage trade advice: don't do it. Essentially, what it is, if I was to simplify it, you are using a platform that allows you to make trades with more money than you actually have, and theoretically you can win much bigger. You're making a bet, and the platform is supplementing the money that you are using to make that investment, which means that you are also more likely to lose a lot more if the trade goes sideways.
That's right. That's right. And essentially the trade-off you're getting for making more money with someone else's money is you can lose your own money faster. I wish I could walk over to my whiteboard. I'm anchored right now. Maybe I can make a video about this later. But if you wanted to bet $100 on, Bitcoin or the horse race or whatever, and it goes up 2 times, then you get $200 back. If you pull the lever, the 10x leverage lever, now your $100, if it goes up, will become $1,000. But because you pulled the 10 times lever, you also will lose your money 10 times faster. If the price of Bitcoin goes in the opposite direction from what you predict, just 10%, you lose 100% of your money. And the difficulty with leverage trading crypto specifically is, I mean, look at any chart, daily, weekly, what you name it, and tell me, can you find a stable chart? It's very volatile here. So a lot of people get wrecked. My advice, aside from don't do it, is use a platform that you're already familiar with to start learning. I think Coinbase is offering options now. I don't know that they do leverage. Jupiter has it. That's where Crypto Guy was talking. KuCoin does it. That's where I have done different trading and things like that. And also, I know Blowfin does it. I was looking into that when Mac was telling us about it at first. They're a cool platform. They don't require KYC. We have a referral link for them. You can check it out on our website. I actually might not have that button up. I might need to refresh it. But look on our website or go to Blowfin. You can start an account there. I would start with very small dollars and don't let yourself be fooled into thinking that just because one trade goes well, they're all going to go well. You are probably not the world's greatest trader. Most people are not, statistically speaking.
Except Doug.
Except Doug.
So my advice, everything you just said, Evan, spot on. Good morning, guys, by the way.
Good morning. Yeah, please share us your advice, brother.
I made every single mistake possible leverage trading for years, especially in the bear market. I was probably making, and I'm not proud of any of these numbers, 20 to 30 trades a day, 20,000, 40,000 trades over 4 years, and majority of them losers. Now, it's because of the emotional aspect of it. And leverage trading, it's like that mindset where it's like, oh, if I use 100x, I can turn $10 into 1,000. It's all a game, and you're not going to win it. If I were to recommend going down that path, use less than 5% leverage to start. And when I say to start, for months, successfully open and close trades, keep a journal, understand what you're doing, manage your emotions, and don't chase things. Don't FOMO, because FOMO with leverage is just a no bueno. It's just stay away.
Do you have a platform that you recommend for trading generally, or for people who want to learn leverage trading? Because I feel like a lot of the UX in the game is very convoluted. It's very intimidating.
Your challenge is the geographical aspect of it, right? So for years, I was fortunate to get early into KuCoin before they did KYC. Now that's dead. I was in MEXC for a while. That's dead. For the US, speaking for the US folks now, there are many new decentralized platforms that allow you to do leverage trading, which honestly is probably a good place to start, because the speed at which you have to transact, meaning that when I open a trade and then I put a stop loss on, it's not as instant as it is with a centralized exchange. And the reason that the benefit of being slower is that you have to learn, you need to take time to plan a trade and to actually enter those different price points, where it's that, hey, if I enter a leverage trade of 5x, if it takes me a minute to enter probably 30 seconds to enter a stop loss, meaning that if it goes below this price, I want to close the trade. That price can't move so fast that I'm going to get liquidated, meaning liquidated is you have no stop loss and it's just taking all your money. It'll help you learn, quickly how to effectively manage a position. And I saw someone in the chat here too wrote, how long could you leave it open for? You leave it open for as long as you want, but there are fees that are underlying that's basically coming from your position that's being taken out. And you could hold trades for a week, for a month, for years, and there are benefits where you may actually get paid in a positive for having that trade open. But it's a complex, but also too, there is some rewarding aspects of it as well if you do it properly. But you gotta practice, start small, don't get greedy, which is a very difficult, if not the most important, difficult thing to manage in crypto is greed and emotions. So
yeah, well said.
That's my TED talk on leverage trading. But if you want to talk about it, we could talk about that too in depth, but gotta watch, gotta practice, and just be smart. Don't be stupid.
Well, let me take this opportunity to give the commercial for Doug that usually it's morning somewhere when we start the show, but it's definitely morning somewhere when Doug starts his streams. And you've been streaming really consistently before our show starts, but also have you been going live in the evenings and afternoons too? When can people find you? Because you've always got charts in front of you. You are teaching people what you know about trading, and I think it's really helpful information.
Yes. So I'm only doing the mornings right now. I've been doing 2 weeks now, 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. Eastern, which when I jump to you guys, the last couple of days I've been going over like 5-10 minutes. So I'm trying to maybe start like 10 minutes earlier, but roughly around that time, quick overview of the bigger markets, some chart requests, and then coming over here to say hello.
Well, I really appreciate that you do that for people, because I know a lot of folks are really looking forward to having your stream and then jumping into ours. It's the unofficial official pre-show of the Rise Up Morning Show. I love it, man.
I'm gonna lead it. I'm trying to build up my audience to help you guys out. That's, so, I feel like I'm cool.
Hey,
doing
man.
that.
Well, and we're trying to help you out. We're trying to tell a better story, and you definitely are telling a better story with the way you educate folks. And I'm just curious, is this the used to be tile wall now is like bamboo slats wall of the so-called bathroom?
Still some
What is
here.
it with you and backgrounds that look like bathrooms, Doug?
Hold on.
I'm just trying really hard.
All right, we'll do it real quick. So no, see, I changed it now.
Let me see.
We got
The bathroom
this. We
tour,
got
baby.
that here. One whiteboard, and we got a thing. I don't know. They got multiple whiteboards, all kinds of. I got nonsense going on here.
Where's
But
the
yeah,
toilet, man? Does it have a bidet?
No, there's no bidet. There's no bidet.
Yeah, Tori says bamboo is very spa. It's giving spa. It does look relaxing, man.
I may get some dangling, fake plants here to make it a little better vibe, but we'll see. But it'll collect dust, and then I'll start wheezing. So.
If you want to follow Doug, all you got to do is tap his face right here. His profile will appear, and you can click the follow button. He does not have multiple profiles. He's just like us. These are our only profiles. The best way to connect with us is to follow us now. We have lots of impersonators, and they're all going to ask you for money. They're going to try and offer you a trading platform. They're going to do all kinds of dubious stuff that we will never do. We will never DM you first. So tap Doug's face, give him a little follow, and then stay connected with us all through the Rise Up Discord community. You can find it at discord.gg/riseup. And Doug, one more time, 6:30 Central is when you're live, Monday through
6:30
Thursday?
Central, 7:30 Eastern. You got it. Yep.
Excellent.
You guys have a great day.
Thanks, man.
I got to
I
run.
appreciate you for hanging out, brother.
Of course. Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Heck yeah. Bye now. If you've got a crypto question, you can leave it in the comments below. We'll talk to you like Crypto Guy, or you can pop up like Doug if you're one of our friends in the community. If you want to pop up but you're not there yet, that's all you got to do. Head to the Discord, discord.gg/riseup, and we will make time to get to know each other a little better. And then next time you want to come on the show, heck yeah, brother, we'll have you.
So a little bit to wrap up the whole KOL thing, and we can move on.
Wrap it up, man.
So not only is this guy the one who won the
Professor Crypto, if he is a real professor.
Something tells me he's not.
Something tells me he doesn't actually have a PhD.
He's a YouTuber. He gets this award, Content Creator of the Year, at the KOL Awards at Token 2049. Basically, no one in the space knows who he is. It's unclear how he won. And he immediately becomes the subject of a Zach XBT thread.
Which is, for context, if you don't know Zach XBT, you do not want to be the subject of a Zach XBT thread.
You do not. No one
wakes up in the morning thinking that, right?
No one's ever been the subject of a Zach XBT thread for being a really good dude.
Yeah.
Just put it that way. So he's basically the term for the way that this guy's entire account has ever existed is called astroturfing, which just means that he bought all of his followers and he buys all of his engagement. Which, again, this is a thing that like we combat every single day. Especially as we talk to people about, working in marketing, they are so happy to send money to somebody with good engagement without doing any due diligence to see what kind of engagement that is. And people like this just get paid exorbitant amounts of money to shill stuff. The only reason that any of their shills ever get taken seriously, like for shitcoins, is because people see it getting shilled and they assume that aping will happen. So they gamble on the thing being shilled. It's not it's not people who are like showing up to, use a project or meaningfully be there or, become a regular consumer or a regular user or, no one's building any kind of loyalty. It's like looked at immediately as this is a scam. We know it's a scam. Let's see if we can flip a couple bucks on it really quick. And that's just the way that so many things think they should market. There's like good projects that run shit like this, that hire the big batch of KOLs and think that's the way. I've been in those Telegram groups. I'm still in several of them. The way that people ask questions, it's not, it's never, what does success look like for you guys? What are you going for? What's the goal of this campaign? It's, what do you want us to say?
Yeah.
Which is just, to me, that's like, so you've never even read the website because you should know what to say. If you're investing in this thing and you're advertising it to your followers, you should know what to say.
Yeah, and legally speaking, you should know what you can say or can't. Okay, so the antidote is, if I'm hearing you, and we've talked about this plenty, so I think I understand where you're going. The antidote is, for brands specifically who want people to trust them, especially in a space like crypto where there is so much mistrust, we need to do a better job of finding key opinion leaders whose opinions are worth listening to, who will help our brands leverage the trust they've built with their audiences. And for creators, I mean, what's the incentive for creators? Because brands are the ones writing the paychecks. Is it just to, I don't know, I always encourage people to do like we do to try and tell a better story. It doesn't have to look like this. This is just one way to do it. But the checks are still kind of getting written a lot to,
they
the whale AstroTurf people.
It's a problem because it requires, if you are interested in doing it the right way, it requires a fucking marathon. And nothing in crypto is looked at as needing to be methodical or lengthy. The thing that brings so many people here often is the idea that you can get rich quick, right? That brings in lots of speculative traders and investors who'd like to make a quick flip and make a quick buck on something that they don't have to think that hard about, because investing in the stock market is hard. And by that, I just mean that, typically there's like research that needs to be done into companies. And for some reason, we look at investing into crypto projects as a totally different thing because of the hyper volatility. We know that things that mean nothing can pump on a dime all the time. So I don't know. I think that we have to just keep going. You just have to kind of keep pushing, making the helpful content, telling the helpful story, and just get in front of the right people and connect to the right people. And eventually someone will realize, because that's the other part that mystifies me. Like I'll see constantly posts from large scale companies and brands, and you see, like Coinbase doesn't hire people like this, Ethereum,
No.
Polkadot found like these major foundations for these big networks. They're not hiring KOLs to bull post memes in their favor. They understand what a marketing department looks like, but then, then I'll turn around and I'll have a conversation with someone who's like, hey, I've never marketed. I don't even know how to market. I don't know what it is. And it's like, okay, well, let's start talking about how you would build the campaign and what, this is step one. Before anyone posts anything or makes a single piece of content, we have to have multiple meetings about building the campaign and what's the story you want to tell and how many, what does success look like to you? What sorts of things are you trying to achieve? You need more users, you need more volume, you need, this all determines how we talk about this. And so then you have the conversation like, okay, well, this is what it costs. It's a service. And like, okay, well, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just share some profit? It's like, no, you're asking me to do lots of labor for you. We are absolutely not going to do that for free. And I'm not going to assume all of the risk up front. And, it's a long game too. It's not like a thing where you don't get to market from scratch for 30 days and then have brand recognition. You don't have a platform at the end of 30 days. Look at the way that, great example of a company that is arguably doing a good job making money. Frito-Lay. When watch a Super Bowl commercial for a Frito-Lay product. Frito-Lay knows that, one, they're going to pay very handsomely for that spot. You're not paying handsomely for that spot for that day because you think that the next morning you're going to make back as a company based only on that ad, every penny and then some that you spent to get the ad in the first place.
Right.
You're doing
$50 million in chip sales.
Exactly. You're doing it because you know for the next year, your ad is going to be replayed by people doing Super Bowl commercial roundups, and which commercial won the Super Bowl. It's going to get repurposed by tons of people all over the world and spread all over the place. So you're paying upfront for one opportunity cost to be advertised to millions, if not billions of people over the course of forever. If it was a good ad. I mean, there are still famous Super Bowl commercials that you still see on YouTube now. And every time the Super Bowl comes up, it's like remembering great commercials from the past. That's why you buy that slot. So that's worth the money, not because you're going to make it all back the next morning. And that's the problem that leads people to hire these fucking KOLs for their project, is that they have this stupid idea in their head because they don't know how to run a business. They don't understand marketing and all these things that plague brand new Web3 startups from people who don't take the time to learn how to run a business first, is that I'm going to pay for marketing and I need to make all that money back next week or it was a bust. And my marketing campaign is about to last for 3 weeks and then I'm going to consider it done. Like, talk to literally anyone in any industry besides crypto about marketing and tell them your plan is to get 40 people who you've never spoken to before to make one piece of content that you're going to retweet for 3 weeks and then you're going to launch your company.
Right.
And tell them that that's your go-to-market strategy for awareness. You will be laughed out of the room.
Do you remember when we were doing TFM and I was obsessed with the idea of burning a suitcase full of money?
Yes, vividly.
I just see some of those ads too, and I wonder, like, where's the creativity? Like, where is the actual? We've made this distinction too sometimes. Like, there is a difference between being somebody who creates content and somebody who actually can meaningfully, like, tell a story with your brand, make people pay attention and say, wow, I'm glad I watched that. You know, like, some of the stuff is just so it's bottom of the barrel, man.
I would challenge anyone, if you would like to do a little thought experiment for yourself to, see if there's any validity to this ramble that we're on right now. If I were to tell you, let's pick some random, actually, what's the last, so Eagle AI is making the rounds right now.
Oh, it is?
I guarantee they're paid.
On Twitter or TikTok specifically?
TikTok, I've seen. I don't know Twitter enough.
I'm going to look on Twitter and see what they're doing.
TARS AI was another good one.
Yeah.
So if I was to tell you right now, you, the proverbial viewer here, recite to me the TARS AI script, you could probably come up with something. And it would probably be pretty close to the way that most of the TikToks were made. Like, hey guys, this new AI project just came onto my radar. Or, like, hey, in the world of crypto, things that are AI focused are the ones that are going to set themselves apart and be future proof. And no one's doing a better job than TARS AI. And it's like, it's just such a brochure read when the video could be 8 seconds. It's like, hey guys, here's a project I know nothing about. Here's the homepage. Go read about it. Done. You're not going to learn anything from the video that you wouldn't have just learned from reading the homepage to the website. That's as deep as the dive gets. But if I was to ask you, like, pick a random crypto and Evan's going to make a video about it tomorrow, and I want you all to predict exactly what he's going to say, it would be a lot harder because Evan's going to go, well, first of all, Evan would not say that he would make a video about something that he just found out about today.
No. No, but I might burn a suitcase full of money.
He might burn a suitcase full of money. But Evan, how long would it take you if I gave you a new crypto today? Let's even assume the best. Let's assume that it was like a cool thing that you thought was interesting.
Yeah, okay.
How long would you tell someone, if someone was like, Evan, I need you to make this video for me?
If I got the phone call and they said, how quickly can you do it? I need one video. And if the price was, if the price is right, I could have it. I guess I could have it done by later today. I really would not feel comfortable turning it around in less than 24 hours. I would prefer at least 72. But that's what I'd say. I'd say, it's really important to me. If I don't know your product, I need to spend more time. Give me all your links. I'm going to spend, the next 48 hours researching, scripting, drafting, and then I'll have it up by the end of the week. Or I might even say something like, the best time for me to post is Thursday nights between 7 and 11. That's when most of my audience is live. So I'm going to, whatever day it is, if it's Sunday, I'm going to take this time to prep so that you can have a real good landing on Thursday. You know what I mean? It would be based around what is their goal, how complex is their product, how sophisticated is the video going to be, and then what's going to give it the best showcase, 72 hours. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
The only point I'm trying to make here is that you can't just you would need more than 20 minutes of prep to make the video. And I guarantee that 20 minutes or less went into pretty much every KOL post I've ever seen.
Now, let me tell you this. As soon as I look up Eagle AI Labs on on Twitter, I see, you know how it shows you who they're followed by? I don't see that they're followed by Chris Dixon or Mert or Jesse Pollock or Brian Armstrong. For people who don't know, these are some of the people I would consider actual builders of our space. Vitalik Buterin, Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't see those names. I see that they are followed by That Investor, World War Bitcoin, and Brian Ross. All people that I know and would probably sit down to have dinner with. But if the people who are following this project are people who have a vested interest in promoting other projects, and that's how they make their name and reputation, honestly, it doesn't give me a very savory opinion about Eagle AI. You know what I mean?
Now the pictures are AI generated. I'm having a hard time figuring out what they do.
Now, those are just the only 3 followers I know. And to be fair, I follow all kinds of stuff on Twitter. If somebody tells me about something and I need to learn more about it, I'll just click follow. It's not necessarily an endorsement.
Yeah, it's just taxes reduced, another mid-journey thing, another mid-journey thing, another mid-journey thing, another mid-journey thing.
Alex, I'd like to highlight a brand that I think is actually doing really well.
Let's do that for a change.
Let me say, I got to wrap up sometime soonish because I got to go to therapy because the crypto industry makes me nuts. But I want to highlight some people who are doing it well. And then I want to give I posted in the Discord, because we try to be responsible stewards of sponsorship. This show has been previously sponsored by Banana Gun, and they had an exploit recently for some of their users, an incident that they had a fantastic crisis response to. I'd like to give people the TLDR on that in case they're concerned about it. I posted the link in the Discord if you want to get ahead of me and play along. But the brand I want to highlight for you, this is if you don't follow them, run, don't walk to find Boys Club World. They are on Twitter. They're on Warpcast. They're a Web3 native, have been doing media for the past 4 years, maybe 5, started as Boys Club DAO to try and get more non-male, non-binary voices into the crypto conversation. And they don't just talk about crypto. They talk about internet culture in a way that really helps people get ahead of the trends and technology that are coming down the pipeline, understand them, and have a lot of fun. Super authentic brand voice. And they just started posting again on TikTok. They've got this awesome producer. I'm not sure what her title is, but she's like the director of, their content strategy, Kate Cavill. And she totally gets short form video and totally gets culture. And they're sponsored by Kraken. And I think every time I see Boys Club sponsored by Kraken, this is such a good use of their money because they have an excellent reputation in the crypto space. They're very plugged in, with the people I respect as founders, movers, and shakers. And I just have never seen them sell something for the purposes of selling something. They did great coverage of Crypto the Game. Their show is a lot like ours, but instead of 2 white guys, it's 2 ladies from Brooklyn who give their takes, and they're all very inclusive and a little bit sassy and a little bit crass and always very, very sharp. Boys Club World, a brand that's doing it right. You got one?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see. Brand specifically, brands doing it right. I mean, for what it's worth, I thought that the banana gun response to the exploit was good. The thing that should make someone feel, I think, a little bit better about it is that they are still to this day talking about it on their social media, which is very in stark opposition to the typical Web3 I just got exploited playbook, which is let's fucking address this and then, spam post a
Hope it goes away.
And they're still out here explaining like, hey, more insight. Hey, this is also what happened. Hey, and we're like days past the whole thing being wrapped up with a bow, fixed. They shared their plan to refund people who lost money, even though like from looking at the exploit, it was like a Telegram issue and some people just like doing unhealthy things with wallets. It wasn't like Banana Gun getting hacked and breaking, but they're still paying them back. Like it was just good overall. And we're no longer sponsored by them, but that was good. It was
a short stint. It was a good relationship to help us out and help them out, I hope.
Yeah,
and we still love them. We obviously still love Bunches. It's a fantastic tool. Baby Bunches. Yeah, the recap is a total of 11 users were affected, and these were whales. They drained $3 million. And check this out: all impacted users will be fully refunded from the Banana Gun treasury, with no tokens being sold for reimbursements. So, like, they are taking the loss personally to make it right for these people. Smart money traders, crypto veterans, not easy to scam people, known in the space, either because they have a social presence, a trading expertise, people target their wallets. So it was a personal targeted compromise, and they had not just one, but two different teams, SEAL team, AML bot, and the Binance security team looking into this too. They gave all the different kinds of steps about how they patched the solution, enhanced security measures, reactivated the bot. It was like A+ crisis response. I would have to say I was really, really impressed by it. Because whenever anything goes wrong in the crypto space, Alex, the wolves come out. People start posting, banana gun is done, whatever. No.
Well, and
it's killer.
It's So to bring it back to the Eagle AI that I mentioned, because Wes is sharing some stuff about them in the chat down here. I know nothing about them. It could be a completely legit and great project. The only point that I wanted to communicate was that if I was giving it my first glance and I saw three things, one, like sort of poorly written tweets that are just making it sound like it's the next, it's the most impactful piece of technology that's ever been created, instead of just telling me what they do and sharing examples and user testimony and that kind of stuff, combined with posts from people that I already don't trust, combined with terrible mid-journey renders to save on the art and design budget. All of these things give me significant pause, and nothing else even matters, because you're hurting your brand when you do things like that. And I get it, right? Like, the rise of AI has led all sorts of people to believe that you can fully brand and launch a product and a company from start to finish using only free AI tools to get all of your design needs done, all of your marketing copy done. And it's just really obvious when you write all of your copy with ChatGPT, get all of your brand imaging from Midjourney, and pay a minimum rate to a few KOLs to do all of your advertising, and that's your whole plan. It's really obvious, and it hurts you. And if I would make the claim that either you need to figure out how to do impactful marketing by yourself if you can't, or you need to save money and pay for real branding and real marketing. not everything deserves to be a full company that gets a multi-million-dollar valuation on day one. I'm sorry to say. And that's the attitude that most crypto projects have. And they advertise as if they're already a billion-dollar company instead of they are a small business, a startup that is trying really hard to get their initial users. And the way that something like Eagle, my advice to them would be, hey, I've not even gotten to the point where I can figure out what you do because I'm so turned off by everything you've done so far. Everything that I'm shown immediately hurts. And I'm over it. There's so many other things in the space. When I see this, I move on because I know there's a dime a dozen and there's more. But if you are special, you're not telling me about it. You know, you look like everything else in the AI sector that I've ever seen, and it looks like crap.
Yeah, and remember, an overwhelming majority of all crypto projects, all tokens especially, are going to zero, which is not to say that the company isn't valuable, isn't, a great product at the wrong time, but historically speaking, and talking about trends, it is unlikely that that trend would just flip-flop and reverse because we have AI now. You know what I mean? So no hate, no shame to them. I'd look at them another day, but just based on what I've seen already and what Alex has, looked at and told me, I wouldn't be sad if they went to a $5 bajillion market cap and I missed it because I'm, skeptical. I think sometimes people just get lucky too, not worried about it.
Sure.
Alex, what do you think we should do as we round off the show? Should we have a little song and dance? I wish I had brought some wine. I was maybe going to uncork some champagne to celebrate our stream. We're going to have to test it out later again. Hopefully we'll be multi-platform before long.
How long are your shows? Because I drop into your live stream when you're performing and it's like, I feel like 6 hours later, you're still going. And I'm like,
oh yeah, man. Usually 3 hours at a time. 2 to 3 hours is about how long people book music for. And I try to play all the way through. I had to take a break last night because my throat was dry.
That's a giant set, dude.
It's a giant set. Most musicians will take 2 or 3 breaks. And I'm thinking, no, man, you want to practice like you want to play. And if one day, somebody calls me and says, Evan, I need somebody to fill in. We're doing the arena tour. Then I want to be like, oh, great. 3 hours at a time. No problem. You know what I mean? But I'm performing tonight. I'm performing tomorrow. I was going to stream on Facebook tonight, so I didn't take away any audience from Rise Up After Dark, which is tonight. But I'll be back. You guys can catch my music tomorrow night here on TikTok at 6:30 Central, which is about 12 hours after we start the show. So look out for that. If you haven't seen it, I'd love to entertain you with a song. What's on the menu for After Dark tonight?
I haven't looked at the list yet to see what we're at, but I think it's just probably going to be me and Will. I don't know that we have anyone else lined up. So I think we're just going to run through as many altcoins as we can that we haven't covered yet.
That sounds fantastic. Tori said, I'm available Wednesday through Friday to help break some stuff on the back end. That sounds great. I still haven't set up our Unlonely. I think I'm just it shouldn't only take me 10 minutes to do from our Coinbase wallet to go in and.
Did you see that Unlonely is leaving Base and moving to Solana?
Really?
Yeah.
That I feel like is scandalous. Tori says, look into Dracula too. Things are changing there. Oh my gosh. What?
Yeah, go look up Brian on Twitter. He's been talking about it quite a bit.
Brian Armstrong?
No, Brian from Unlonely.
I forget that guy's name. There are a lot of Brians in crypto, and there are a lot of Alexes in crypto, aren't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of Andrews.
Emily and Mia asked, what kind of songs do I sing? So I'll tell you, I do songs folks love from the last 100 or so years, all genres. And my rule is if I even think I know it and you request it, I'll try and play it. I have like a 3-strike system, ask me one. If I don't know it, ask me another. And then, I'll learn it if I don't know it kind of thing. And I usually have lists at my shows that people can kind of pick from. Yeah, if you want to hear something from like 1923, probably not from me, man. But, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so drama in the crypto space. Unlonely migrating. I don't know have you used Dracula at all lately? I haven't touched it at all lately.
I
I
haven't.
gotta say.
I made what I would call a valiant effort, and the content flow was bad, so I stopped.
Yeah, I also had a problem after an update they did syncing my account back up. That was tough.
Yeah,
Um,
there's another one that someone on LinkedIn told me about that they're building called Tunnel, Tunnl, tunnel.io. So they gave me like early access to try it out, and the first thing I noticed was like it's a thing, port your X account or connect your X account, but there's nothing for TikTok. And my immediate feedback was like, look, dude, I get it, but there's never anything for me on any of these things because I'm never able to like capitalize on or get any credit for all of the work I've done for years on TikTok. And that's like the place that all my stuff lives. So if you want me to like look like an impactful creator and you only let me connect my Twitter account, I'm going to look underwhelming. And it's, so I'm like, I'll check it out. But like until that's any plans to integrate that, cause let me be your first vote of like, please do. But that's it. Like I'll try them, but like you're competing with this, and the content flow to post on TikTok is so good. And even after they nerfed me and took my video editor away, CapCut is phenomenal. And then they gave the TikTok Studio mobile app, which is the exact same thing. So it's just like, the only problem with the TikTok Studio is that you can't get your saved comments there. So you can't reply to a comment from TikTok Studio, which is so stupid.
Really?
All the same app. Yeah.
Well, that's odd. Well, and the other thing that baffles me about that too, the Twitter over everything, is I'm pretty sure TikTok has more daily active users. I know everybody has bots. Twitter has like supposedly 200 million daily active users. And I think TikTok has, I don't know, about that many. But the average user spends like an hour a day on the app. I don't know. It's engaging. It's tough.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The number?
Yeah.
TikTok has 2.5 billion daily active users worldwide. Twitter has 611 million monthly active users that's as of April 2024. Average time per day per user spent on TikTok, 95 minutes globally, 53.8 minutes in the United States. Twitter, 30 minutes globally. 55% of TikTok's user base is between the ages of 18 and 34. I've been seeing a lot more stuff lately about Twitter declining, which has a lot to do with Elon red pilling.
Man, are you sure that 2 billion number isn't monthly? I can't imagine that they're pulling 2 billion a day.
No, I find that really hard to believe. That's what I'm trying to find right now, because that it specifically says daily, but I'm just like, dude, how? That's 25. That's more than a quarter of the Earth's population.
Yeah, that seems bananas. One site from May says over 50 million dailies. That 18% of all Americans with mobile internet log into TikTok every single day. But this is just Americans.
Yeah.
August 14th, 2024 is looking at about 50 million, but monthly actives is closer to that number you mentioned is what I'm getting. Either way, it seems like it's bigger than Twitter. That's wild.
Yeah. This one, a completely different number. So that number you said, 37.36% of U.S. mobile users access TikTok at least once a month, which means that they have more than a third of mobile internet users, 50 million daily active users, 18.7% of all Americans with mobile access use it every day.
Not to mention all our friends, you know.
Yeah, so let's do a check for Twitter then from the same source.
And I just don't, I mean, I get the endless scroll thing and that the content is easier and quicker to consume, but I just don't find tweeting anywhere near as compelling as a creator or a consumer. I just don't.
Let's see. Yeah.
Wes
so
is 57 and lives on TikTok. Monkey says the same. TikTok is my go-to. Yeah. Yeah. It's the place.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter is just tough for me lately because I can only look at my following page because the For You is just a nightmare soup of straight propaganda and rage baiting.
Oh, there's so much.
I mean, one thing that did help is muting. I'm prolific with my mute button. Although, you know, lots of people are up in arms about them deleting blocking. He's back on that train. And then, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just not, I don't enjoy it. There's nothing over there for me. I'm literally only there because I have to, if I want to talk to, businesses, if I want like a direct line of communication to, you know, the people that I'm trying to work for or with, it has to be that one, despite the fact that I hate it. And I don't know, I post every day, multiple times a day, and my reach is abysmal. I mean, it's like I don't know, a couple hundred impressions per post, maybe. And it's like, you're telling me that, and like, I totally get that not every piece of content is going to go viral. Obviously I've been posting TikToks for over 1,000 and I've never had one do the viral thing. And you're telling me that out of all those, there wasn't a single one that like was good.
Yeah.
But, you know, Twitter's even worse. It's like, dude, nothing ever gets any attention. No comments, no likes, no nothing. And I'm like, dude, what? You just scroll and you see mega engaged with tweets, and you're like, well, this doesn't even say anything. What? You're telling me this is good content?
Just put bunches in it. It will go viral.
Apparently.
Great comment from Nick.
Anyway.
So what do you think? Are we feeling well met? We got a show tonight that you can tune into at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Rise Up After Dark Altcoin Research Special. And if you want something to do in the meantime, I recommend you check out the Discord, discord.gg/riseup. Most of our friends here know about it already, but if you're not there yet, what the heck are you doing? If it's because Discord is one of those platforms you just don't get, I feel you. We've got a lot of resources to help you understand it, make it less overwhelming. They're in the server. And I'm going to make a video today because someone asked, how do I join a Discord server? So stay tuned for that. You can share it with your friends and then find us all the other places we live. We've got an occasional newsletter. We've got a YouTube channel where all these streams and our other long form video content go to live. We've got classes, coaching. We've got downloadable products. We've even got awesome merch like the mug. And we're getting a rebrand soon, as well as streaming to multiple platforms. So stay tuned for all of that. We are building a movement and you're invited. Alex, do you have a final thought, good joke, word of wisdom as we ride our dogs and ponies out into the sunset?
I am well met.
Okay. Well then, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out and being the best part of the Rise Up Morning Show. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day. As Will always says, make lots of money. And until next time, my friends, rise up.